first round, that was important, but still keep putting yourself in position to finish third and just to continue this. You got to be impressed with offensively in the first half and then really defensively in the second half, I would think.
Yeah, that was the challenge, to keep doing what we were doing on first half. I thought we moved the ball really well the first half. Obviously shot it well, 11 assists, 2 turnovers at the break. But I thought Arizona really played well offensively in the first half. They went to their strengths, and I thought we were, maybe a half step slow. I don't know, maybe that was because of them, but they shot 48% first half, and we didn't like that. So that was the challenge at halftime, was to do what we've been doing defensively, over the last month. And second half, we saw that.
Scott, earlier in the week, you talked about how this year the team was trying to recapture what you had a couple years ago in terms of the confidence and the belief that they can compete and they go along. Obviously, there's still a lot more that you guys want to accomplish with this, clinching by in the tournament. Validation for that progress?
Yeah, I think certainly. I think we've seen that for a while now. A year ago, we talked about, it's so fragile, getting over that hurdle and knowing you belong, knowing that you deserve to win, knowing that you're good enough to win, and then playing to those expectations. You can lose that so quickly. And a year ago, what we'd gained 2 years ago was gone. And we were on the short end of a lot of close games and just didn't have the confidence to finish or didn't do what it took to finish. And this year, this team is doing everything right every day. This team, I think, if anything would describe it, they've just kept it really simple. They just come in and they work, they learn, they want to win. They've got high expectations of their own performance. Leadership has emerged from lots of different places, and they know that they belong. And so I attribute, the non-conference schedule, the strength of it, to that. We were in a lot of tough games. We learned, some tough lessons in not finishing, some of those, and then they wanted it so bad that they eventually learned how to finish. And so over the past month, that's what we've seen. It's been a really fun thing to be a part of and really impressive what this team's done.
You guys have gotten so much good play from so many different players. It seems like, you have like an Allie Gibson who's been a scorer a lot, but then she's just diving on the floor, getting steals, and Gabby coming off doing some driving. Everybody just seems to fill into these different roles. I think even like today, Alyssa goes and chases the ball down, gets it to Gabby, hucks it up, to beat the clock. You guys get a rebound and score. I mean, is it just those little plays that is the difference, and how much has that made a difference in this success you guys?
Yeah, this is it's a really competitive group, and that's maybe my favorite quality about them. They've got a grit to them that I love, and Devin, that's just part of who she is. Allie is just part of who she is, and Gabby too. They're all kind of wired that way. Now we've got everybody doing it, and what they've learned is that it's worth it. And that's the thing. It's not easy to dive on the floor. It's not easy to even want to do that. It's not natural for most people. And so this group has found that that's the way you play the game. We talk about it, they're like the nicest people off the court, but between the lines, you got to leave that outside them. You got to get gritty. And this team has learned that, and that's really been the difference, I think, for us. Once we discovered that we can be an elite defensive team, and we can control things a lot more than maybe we thought we could. They've bought in 100%, and they've sold out.
I was supposed to see Alyssa step up and score 14 tonight. Just kind of, open three, she hits it, and then the next possession she's open, but kicks it over to Gabby for a better shot.
Unbelievable, and that's, it's perfect. Tonight was a perfect game for Alyssa. Of course, it's senior weekend for her, but she's been playing such big minutes for us. And on this team, when you've got Sydney going and you've got Ruth going inside, and then Allie and Gabby have been the ones that have hit big shots. It's easy to feel like, they're doing it. It's not that important. I'm going to be a facilitator and get them the ball. But the best teams have it going from everywhere, and we saw that a week ago. I don't know if you guys got to see our games last weekend, but Washington game, I mean, we had it going from every angle, and we were so hard to guard. And then tonight, just a continuation of that. And so the contribution that Bree Brown made tonight was very similar. We needed her. Ruth got in foul trouble. We needed her to produce for us, and she did. And so, really happy for Alyssa. She certainly, that's what she's done her whole career. I don't know where she ranks on three-point makes, and third in history of our program in three-point makes, but that's somebody we need shooting the ball and shooting it well, and she did that tonight.
That Washington game,
Yeah. Well, I think I read that, all, what have we won, 10 out of 11? And all 10 are by double figures or something, so that's just a combination of both, just being extremely efficient offensively, like I mentioned, shooting 56% or 55%, 54 from three, and to go along with the defense. This team is just playing good, tough basketball on both ends of the floor, and that's going to happen. And so, I think they know that because it's happened, we can play with anybody, and so their expectation is not just to win, but to play great every possession, which has been what I've been preaching, and what they understand is the way you do it. We've got an example of an elite program in our conference, maybe a couple, but Stanford especially. And why are they good? Well, they don't make mistakes. They bring the same effort. You don't know what the score is when you watch them play, and that's what we talk about. It doesn't matter what the scoreboard says, play great, and they're doing that, and the scoreboard takes care of itself, and that's happened.
It's got you guys tied the school record for conference win in the season, but that and the bye in that locker room, from a program's perspective, it's a big deal. But in that locker room inside there, is this sort of like, ho hum, another win because the eyes are kind of set on bigger things?
I think so. I think everybody realizes what we're doing now. So there's a level of excitement, for certain. We're not downplaying anything. If I've learned anything, it's never take a win for granted. Celebrate every one. And so we're not doing that by any stretch. But they have bigger expectations. They understand conference isn't over, and this segment of our season, we want to finish this right and finish it strong and play great on Sunday. And then we'll move on to the next segment of the season. But there's certainly a celebration going on. They feel good about what they're doing, and it goes back to what I said earlier. If you do everything right, you just feel good. And this team has that vibe going where every day is fun.
Talked about bigger, sights set on bigger things. Early in the year, when we looked at some of those tough games, Buffett said Oregon State is an NCAA tournament team. We're up on Cal, at Cal, nationally ranked. Lindsay said Oregon State's an NCAA tournament team. You've won 8 in a row, 20 wins overall. Do you think Oregon State is an NCAA tournament team?
That's a good question. For all the reasons that are objective, yes. It's just not an opinion. It's based on where we are RPI-wise, our strength of schedule. People have what I've heard as an argument against us is we haven't won a top 50 game, but I'd argue look at who we've played in the top 50 and where we've played them, and not every top 50 loss is equal. Same, not every top 50 win is equal. We'll be playing our first one at home Sunday. And so. But based on our strength of schedule and RPI and the way this team is playing right now, winning 10 out of 11 down the stretch, I think our argument's really strong.
How much would a win on Saturday go to just putting that to rest and saying we have that?
Yeah, well, I think it would certainly help.
Scott, what are you going to do to the team for missing 10 out of 22 pointers in this game? How many suicides did they make?
Yeah, well, we doubled that, so we got 20 suicides for those misses. Yeah, I was disappointed in that we couldn't make them all.
Did team, you've been winning on the road and at home, but how much the team, you had 4,600, how much the team feed off that?
No, that's just a beautiful sight to me, and I think everybody felt that energy. It was different when we came out of the locker room today. You could just tell there was more people here, and they just kept coming, and so that's what we came here to do. We came here to make Beaver Nation proud and give them just another opportunity to come out and celebrate student athletes and student athletes that deserve it, just like the rest of our programs here. And this is another one, getting it done, doing it the right way, and so seeing that number was beautiful, and seeing those faces was beautiful, and putting on a performance like tonight was great. And so looking forward to doing it again on Sunday.